Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Scale to Exit with Alejandra Santos. I'm very happy to be here today. Today is a solo episode, so you get the full essence of me. And I'm coming here today to discuss one of the value drivers of what makes a business valuable. That you can incorporate all of these strategies I'm about to give you as you're part of your business strategy. Okay, so an exit strategy is not something that you decide one day, I'm going to exit and you incorporate. No, exit strategy is, in simple terms, a business strategy with foresight. That's basically what it is there's no rocket science to that. It's just basically planning ahead, not for months, not for years, just planning way ahead than that. And that's what makes a business more valuable, because business is all about being proactive. And I keep saying that. And because I love repeating myself. It's about this being proactive, not reactive. But before we dive in, I want to say thank you very much to everybody that showed up to Scale to Exit today. Thank you so much for tuning in. It really means a lot to me and my team. And also, please make sure that you share, subscribe, like, to the platform of choice. We are streaming everywhere. We're distributed in a few communities as well. So if you're a baby boomer, tune into your baby boomer organization, because we are playing there as well. So I'm very excited to be here, and let's dive in. I am going to tell you that how many times I dive into a business and they're making lots of money, but it's a constant struggle with the business owner, because he or she has to constantly bring new clients every time. And that can get exhausting for you as the owner, exhausting for the team, exhausting for everybody that's running on that cycle. So one of the things that I like to do with my clients is really thinking about, okay, I love the fact that you can bring customers to the door. That's a really great skill that you have, because not everybody has that, but that's really good. But why not bring the customer to the door and then have them spend not the one time, but maybe the second time, the third time, the fifth time, the 10th time, the 30th time, so that you can create more money, more value from one client, one customer, okay? And you can continue building this recurring revenue, predictable revenue, predictable cash flow into your business. So that way you're not always running around thinking and seeing that you have to bring new customers every month. Okay, so those are the principles that I like to go by. And when I look at a business and I start, engaging with someone, it could be at the coaching level, advisory level, it could be at the fractional level. Doesn't really matter. You always get my brain, right? It's stuck to me, so you will get this kind of conversation with me as I continue to dive into your operations, on how you're bringing the money in, and I start, developing with you or your team these tools that allow me to see how the customers is behaving, right? Then I can give you that kind of analysis, like what should we do, what offers you have to put in place in order to make the consumer not only come one time, but make them come a second time, a fifth time, a 10th time, a 30th time. Because what you always want to do is create the recurring revenue. And recurring revenue has like this bad rep, I'm going to tell you, because recurring revenue is not just for tech companies and subscription models. No way. It's not only for them. Recurring revenue is for services, for people in services. Recurring revenue is for people that sell products. It's for everybody. You just have to really know your consumer, and you really need to provide the additional value for them to continue coming back to you, right? That's basically what it is. Business is all about an energy exchange, I would call it, right? You give this kind of energy treatment service product, you put so much time and energy into it, you're giving it away for somebody else to give you money, which is energy as well. So you're receiving energy exchange for what you are selling. So that's basically what is an exchange of energy. So you want to create more value for the consumer that's willing to spend more money on your products and services. So that's number one. Let's focus on, so for example, you are selling a product. It could be any product. You could be selling it online on your website, or you could be selling it through your store. Okay, so if you're selling it through your store, selling it through online, how much, does it cost for you to bring the consumer to the door or to your storefront online? Does it cost you paid advertisements? Do you have to invest in that? Does it cost you referrals? Does it cost you give a lot of affiliate commissions to someone? Does it cost you hire some sales development people to come in and help you with that? What is the cost for you to bring that one client? So that is your customer acquisition cost. So if when you start thinking about that and then you start saying, well, it cost me $500 to bring someone into the door. Okay, so what is your offer? Like, what did they purchase? Did they purchase a $200 product or a service? Did they purchase a $500 product or a service? How many times this person is coming back to you and buy not only that, but maybe some other stuff, right, that you're selling, that they like, that they find value in that they find complementary to that they purchased the first time because they like you so much, they like your product, your service. So then you start thinking, okay, well, maybe, I don't break even. Once you start analyzing this and start looking at from this level, you start saying, well, I don't break even until this person comes in 5 times. Because if the average order value, of what when people come in is $500 and it took me $500 to spend on each person, then I'm breaking even with one purchase. But if it costs me, $500 and they purchase 250, then I'm breaking even with 2 purchases. So you have to start seeing it like in that level, like, okay, this is how much it costs me. What is my average order value? And then what is my lifetime value of that customer? So when you start looking at these things, when you start saying, okay, well, maybe I can do some upsells. Maybe when they come in, I can send them, I can, not only sell them that, but then I can create a bundle and then they can, get into the bundle. Maybe I can create a membership or a subscription, if you want to call it. And they get a discount because they like the product so much. Maybe they can refer me to someone else and then they get a discount because of the referral. So then you need to start thinking, right, how do I multiply what I just created? So that's a exit strategy business strategy with foresight, which is an exit strategy. What buyers look in a business, it's basically predictability of cash flow and revenue. That's basically what it is. They want to predict how much cash is going to come into the business, how much revenue will come in the next few years. And what is that amount to give you a value, right? So that's one of the drivers of business value. If you can predict the amount of cash that's coming into the business and revenue, you not only going to have a valuable business, but you're going to create more freedom for yourself because now you're not only hunting new clients or customers. Now you're nurturing the ones that you have. So then now you're thinking ahead, like, okay, I have these customers that keep coming back. How do I nurture them to continue coming back, right? What do I need to do for them to stick around even longer? So now you're thinking retain versus acquisition. And those are the 2 metrics that you should always think about. Customer acquisition is this much, retention is this much, and my customer lifetime value, which is basically how much a customer is spending throughout a period of time. And that's just basically measured with data and how much, purchasing behavior it is. And you always want to be able to increase that. So, like I said, a few things that you can do to improve those key performance metrics. Or KPIs, like we call them. So a few things that you can do. Okay, so if you're watching me on video, then you can see that my dog is sitting next to me, very interested in this conversation. I think that she really finds the topic very exciting. I hope you do too. But what I was saying is that there's different ways to doing this kind of recurring revenue streams for you. So if you have a product, right, you can always do some bundles. You can create the subscription, the magic subscription one that they get for a discount if they purchase in, or you can always cross sell with other products. You can always upsell something else. There's different ways to do products, to create a recurring revenue, like the more predictability in your cash flow revenue. For services, it's a different thing, right? So if you're selling services and if you're selling it to businesses, which you probably are, like for example, a roofing company, right? If you have a roofing company and you want to create this predictability, this recurring revenue stream that I'm talking about, and you don't have like big contracts yet or anything like that, then so there's a lot of things. So you can go ahead, and if you have clients, you can go ahead and if they own a home. We know that roofs in a home will always need some kind of update and keep ups and stuff like that. So you can always offer like a plan where you can come in a few times a year, make sure that everything is okay. Or if something happens, make sure that your plan covers whatever it is maintaining the roof could be. So it gives people peace of mind, right? You want to partner up with HOAs. That's another way that you can go ahead and create more predictability into your business. You can go ahead and partner up with apartments. I mean, there's so many different ways that you can engage into more predictability cash flow, and it doesn't have to be by subscription, but you just have to think, how do I make my life easier? So this concept here that I'm talking about is very well known in when a buyer looks at a business. This is something that they look for all the time. So predictability of revenue and cash flow is one of the number one drivers for valuation. But what you can do is you don't need to put all of the strategies in place to create value. You can do it to create freedom for yourself. So as you continue scaling your business and you start thinking about the business strategy that you want to implement to continue growing revenue and profits, think about, how do I make my life easier and create more freedom for myself? Because I don't want to be operating and living in the business all the time, even if you don't want to sell. This is why Scale to Exit is created, right? It's created to give you the freedom and the opportunity to think like an investor and scale for an exit, even if you're not ready for exiting right now. You don't have to be. This is the platform where everybody comes in and brings their insights and tools and strategies to help you get a more valuable business, but also to gain more control and freedom over how you operate your business. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and leave you with some show notes here, some things to do. Go ahead and analyze what your customer acquisition cost is, how much it takes you to break even, how much of they buy from you, and if you're not seeing the numbers are matching up, then go ahead and start thinking of strategies and ways to increase your recurring revenue streams. I will leave you with that assignment, and I will see you next time with another way of how to increase business valuation and how to incorporate exit strategy as a business strategy, even if you're not planning to sell. And I will see you next time. And for everybody out there, thank you so much for tuning in on another episode of Scale to Exit. And I will see you later. Adios, muchachos. Hasta la vista. Bye.